Okay, looks like I'm finally on there. Can you guys see me now? Oh, okay. Yeah, I had to restart this 3 or 4 times. I don't know what's going on with it. Maybe I've got another computer sitting here to my to this side, which is my left. You're right as you're looking at the screen. Hi there, Road King, Storm Killer. Uh, as you can tell, I'm going to talk a little bit about the etiquette for chats, maybe, and the obligations that are expected out of the creators and the subscribers. I say there, Ed. Um, One of the things I wanted to talk about is how far can we go when we're talking in there to try to defend ourselves? And it's kind of a moving target. Part of it has to do with who is running the channel. Whose channel is it? How you doing there, Mike, Carol, Shay Shay? Uh, when we get into these, and everybody's seen the spats lately that are going on because of, but actually this is pretty much about David R. We'll call him. Maybe we should call him Benny. He's the benefactor out there. Just use the word Benny. Maybe that describes him better. It's not derogatory in any way, and it's easier to say. And that way we won't get mixed up with anybody else. So if everybody agrees, we're going to call the benefactor, we'll call him Benny. Is that all right with everybody out there? How you doing, John, Kim, Carol, Aussie? Looks like it's starting to fill up a little bit. Okay. Great. Also, I was going to talk a little bit about my Yagi today. As you guys know, we're kind of friends, and we're doing some a little bit of collab work between the two of us, and so hopefully, I don't know if she'll be in. Yep, there she is. My Aggie, welcome. Since I'm going to talk a little bit about you today, I'm glad you're here. One thing I'm going to do is I'm going to ask Miyagi different things today a little bit because I do want to work with her on a few things. And I would ask you mods to not get on her case because we're going to speak our mind, the both of us are today. And this is one of the few channels where we can get on here as long as we don't get into real bad name calling or something. I would like us to be able to discuss things. And, with some of you, we've had our differences. We can't all agree on everything. But I thought it was pretty important to go over a few things that have happened to us lately. And with Miyagi's permission, I'm going to use some of the things that she had on her channel. I've got it on my other computer here, and I'm going to read them off. And it has to do with some of the things that this Benny is putting on there. Remember, I'm calling Benny the one that considers himself the benefactor of a lot of channels out there. So without any further ados, I'm going to start on it. Thank you, Miyagi. All right, here it goes. Now, I took this off from Miyagi's channel. This goes back a little bit. It's the title was "Only Me," aka David R. For today, we're going to call him Benny, and we're going to talk about this a little bit. And so here we go with the first one that's on there. It says, "Only me." No, this is the second one. The first one, I'll go back to it. We're going to discuss this one, by the way, okay? Only me. My dog just studied for his auctioneer's license. He's very good and uses all the filler words. Anything for his bone. All right. Well, we all probably have a good idea who he was talking about, don't we? And for some of you, that would make you a little butt hurt. I mean, how many of you want to be called a dog? Not that I mean, I have a dog, and I don't like to call him a dog. He's my pup. He's my friend. We're we're buddies, and I hate using the word dog because so many people use dog as a derogatory name for somebody. That person's a dog. Where do they get that at? I don't know. But anyway, that gives you an idea how you can get something started in a chat. We know it's derogatory, so it gets going. All right. So let me get to another one here. I'm gonna go backwards a little bit. Here's one that says only me. Okay, he was on there in a chat, and he's talking to Miyagi, even though he didn't call her out. So he says, "Stop making videos about me." Now, for all of you out there, if you were in her spot, and somebody right off the bat nails you, are you going to fight back? Are you going to tell them off? When somebody isn't nice to you in the chat, how do you feel? uh, well, I can tell you this: when people, and you should understand this too, please. When you go into a chat, it hurts to call somebody a name or say something about somebody in there that tears them apart. Now, every one of us have a right to go on our own channel and say the things that we want within the limits of whatever the law is, okay, or YouTube itself. And most of us, over the course of, I've been on here over 10 years on using YouTube, but and the people that I'm corresponding with most of the time right now, it's been a year or less that I've really ramped up and started doing things. And I knew where my limits were. So it was not too long before this happened to Miyagi here that things came up on a channel and it was getting out of hand, I thought. Yeah, because of this David R., or in the case that I'm going to call him today, we're going to call him Benny. So everybody knows who I'm talking about. Benny is David R., as far as I'm concerned. And I had even inquired one time, I said, who are you and what are you about? Because, here's a guy with a smart mouth coming in the midst of people that have been around a while, trying to get something going on their channels, and he's being a jerk. And so right off the bat, when he goes after somebody in the channel and they fight back, what happens? Well, all you people out there as a mod, you know how you feel, right? You're going to try to protect the channel that you're on at the time. So then you go after whoever was going in there. But now on my channel, I don't have any skin in the game. I don't make money off from this. I don't ask for money for me. I don't expect money for me or gifts or any of that. I'm just on here having a good time. It's a hobby for me. And for some out there, it probably is a hobby as well. You may not put videos up, but it's a hobby to listen. Okay? It's a good way to get information. And so here we are. All right, now I'm going to go to this next one on here that is in Miyagi's channel. Okay. Okay. Only me. Okay. So this is a posting. He posted $50 in pink. Everyone loves Papa. I mean, who's Papa? Benny is, isn't he? All right. Everybody loves Benny. And the thumbs up, there's 17. And in the other part there where you can make remarks. There's 5 remarks. I haven't seen if it works or not. But anyway, so here we go. He just donated $50. But let's say he just got through insulting one of you out there. And you say something back to him. And he just got through giving the creator $50, didn't he? But he got you. He went after you personally, said something to you. And in every chat, he goes after someone, every channel. Someone's going to get nailed. Who was the first one that got nailed? Would you like to take a guess out there, anybody? There you go, Ossie. He's not your papa. He's not mine either. I think that one of the first ones he went after was Lisa. That's what I think. And when it happened, she didn't even know what hit her, I don't think, because Lisa doesn't do that to people. And she's not used to, when she's working so hard, trying to accomplish a goal, for that to happen to her. So here we have somebody out there that is doing everything she can to help a family out, which happens to be in Otter Creek, right? Everybody understand that? You're right. Everybody said Lisa. That's who I'm thinking was the first one to get hit, at least where there was damage done. And the heck of it is, she thought, or she was trying to get it settled, and she's on another channel, watching another channel do giveaways. And all of a sudden, here Benny comes and starts biting like that. She don't know what's hitting her. She's in among friends that she's been friends with forever. So people are looking around, what happened? And, there's some of them are trying to defend Lisa. Well, as it was, I was on, when all that was going on, I was on her channel, and she was a little late coming there. And somebody in her chat had said she just got attacked on Guapo's channel, and she doesn't even know it came. And then she did come on there, and she was confused. There are 2 Lisas on here right now. Lisa. Yeah, I'm talking about you, Lisa, but it's not bad. I'm glad to have you on here. Anyway, this thing had progressed to the point where there's almost no return when it comes to that. So here we go. How far can you defend yourself? Now we got somebody that has a channel that is on another channel and attacked by Benny, Mr. Benny, okay? The one that calls himself Papa. He's your Papa. He's the same one. Let's go back to this other remark, because I don't want you to forget this remark. Here goes. Only me, Benny. My dog just studied for his auctioneer's license. He's very good and uses all the filler words. Anything for his bone. Okay. Now we know what he feels about people that he helps out, don't we? Okay. Now you can all pray that he doesn't help you out, because I don't know how big a help that really was. Does that make you feel subservient to somebody? Okay, here we go. Here he is again. Only me. Okay. Benny. Gifted 50 Storage Legends memberships. And here goes the hearts. Hundreds of them. Hey, everybody. Get the hearts going out there. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Who am I? You know something? Some of that goes a long way. as far as I'm concerned. Look, there's a little delay on here, and I can't help that. For some reason, I think it's because I've got two computers going here at the same time, and I'm about 75 feet away from my transmitter over there. Okay, let's get to another one here. Here it is again. Only me. After 3 years, I get bored and need a new woman. Now, that drew some conversations in the chat. Does that kind of remind you of somebody else? Is there somebody else there? Does that? I mean, let me know. Does that? Did, oh, let's see. Gabe, what's up, Ray? Oh, I've got something going here that I'm trying to let everybody know some of the things that Benny has been saying in the chat. Yeah, let's see. Two Lee says the question is, Jan, why did he get mad at Lisa? Yeah, that's kind of up for who knows. Anyway, let me get to another one here. I'm just trying to let you know what this guy is like and why I put this video up today. Only me. He's back on here, right? If Germ was intelligent, he would realize why he's so alone and stop his hateful behavior. Does he, some of the stuff that I just showed you before this statement, do you think that was kind of hateful behavior that he was describing there of his own? Do you think if somebody doesn't bend to his way, immediately he goes into the hateful mode? I mean, I'm going to go over some of these. He's going to say something about haters being in the channel attacking him. This guy, Benny. The benefactor, called Benny. We're calling him Benny. Now, hopefully, I don't upset too many out here with me talking about this. But what the heck? It's my channel. I'm the creator of this one. And I want to tell you what bothered me. And I've been biting my tongue for the last couple of months over this thing. But I'm not biting it no more. Not on here, I'm not. And you don't have to bite your tongue in here either. You can disagree with me on here because you may have received memberships from this guy. You may have received money from this guy. But I want to tell you what happened on the other end. While you were receiving money and memberships, he was after people in the chats, people that you've known for years. Okay? The end of this thing, when it comes, it's going to come crashing down. But the problem is when you hurt somebody's feelings, that doesn't go away easily. And what I'm trying to get across to you is this. When this yo-yo starts talking to you like that in somebody's chat, answer back just once. Say you don't like it and say goodbye or say ta-ta. John Cook, he doesn't have any problem at all. He just says ta-ta and he goes his merry way. And you can do the same thing and you can stop this guy dead in his tracks. Okay? Let's get to another one here, okay? I'm glad I've got a couple of computers. Only me. Oh, over 300 watching and only 186 thumbs up. Don't forget to please hit the thumbs up. I'm not sure whose channel he was in, but I'm assuming it was one of his favorite channels. Otherwise, he wouldn't have done that. But he's running the channel for you. He's going to do what's best for you. Oh, only me. Signs. The Germans getting sexually excited. Guess they were talking about the signs out there, weren't they? All right. Well, let's get to another one. Oh, here's one. Only me. Let's get to 400 likes for a big giveaway. So, okay, everybody, get on board here. He's running the show here today. Let's get down there and make sure you get your likes in there. Okay. He's going to take care of who takes care of him. You can bet on that. All right, let's get to another one. Okay, now I don't know whose channel he was on. But anyway, he says, this is Benny again. Hey, Super Dave, glad you joined us. So now he's talking about Super Dave. Get him on there. Let's see what he has to say about Super Dave. Everything here going okay. I had my, sometimes I grab the wrong mouse. I've got two mice going there at the same time. All right. Okay, now this, I'm going to tell you, I don't want you getting upset over this one, okay? And the top is marked out so that you don't know who it is. It says, I'm thankful for the help to get these batteries. I give Super Dave a 1X. Infinity. So here's what I'm trying to tell you the difference is. Somebody was able to get a gift. And, when you're on the receiving end of it, it's great. There's nothing wrong with that. But before it's over, he definitely will, I got to stop. There we go. He will definitely go into the hateful mood. Before this is over, he's going to get something going in that chat. Okay. And I was there when this was going on. And it gets the mood going into let's throw rocks. Okay. And we start hurting each other's feelings. And it's not deserved. Us guys, men and women over here that are in this chat, we should be able to exchange with each other without somebody stirring the pot so bad that we all fight with each other when we have the same goal in mind. We all started out, we wanted to help a family in Otter Creek, most of us, okay? I mean, of the channels that are affected right now, all but one was on board for helping John and Michelle and their daughter out. And yes, I know their daughter's name, and I hate using somebody's child's name. And the reason is, I don't know how good of an idea that is when we start getting this thing going. There's been a lot of damage done out there. And I don't like to use a name without permission, okay? But we'll say John and Michelle and their daughter. We want to help them out. That's one of our goals. And we've done it for the most part without getting in a fight with each other, right? I mean, because that's what we're trying to do. Marla was one of the very first ones out there that was trying to help this family out. And her and I got into arguments on YouTube, by the way. And I banned her from my channel. that wasn't very nice of me for sure. But I didn't have any trouble putting her back on there because I knew that her heart was in the right place and I knew mine was in the wrong place at the time. So out of that, we came back around, and even though we didn't agree completely at the time, we were able to get things done. She says, I remember, Ray. But anyway, we're back on the same page. And that's the way I would like to have it with the people that have been working so hard to get to this level. So when I'm looking at all this, and I'm going to go through the rest of these, believe me, I'm not done yet. What I don't understand is this. Now, obviously, I don't stand to make anything financially, whether that yo-yo Benny is around or not. Nothing. But when I call somebody a friend, they're a friend. And I stand behind them because I feel that way about them. And money doesn't change that feeling. And it goes way back to the very beginning when I was a child. We didn't have anything. We just didn't. But we had friends, and those friends got me through rough times. You know, when I was very young, I was so lucky. A band director come along and said, "Ray, come on over here." He said, "Pick an instrument out." And I looked over there. The first thing you think about is drums. But then I seen these brass instruments out there, and man, I liked the idea. And I pointed. He had a cornet there, that beautiful shape case, and I pointed at that, and he said, "Okay." Anyway, I didn't have enough money to pay for that. I was able to get it. I think it was 50 cents a week or something like that. It wasn't much. And that was my allowance back then. I was in fifth grade. And so I said, okay. And he gave me the mouthpiece, said, here, take it with you. And he said, come back next week after you've blown in that thing. He said, you got to strengthen your lips. So I'll see if you did your job or not when you come back, and bring 50 cents. And I did that. And I had that cornet from that day, and I did pay it off. But back then, no money. People helped each other out. He was a friend, and he taught me some valuable lessons. He did, that affected my life forever. Friends do that for each other. Money doesn't, you can't buy friends with money. A friend helps you. Now, when we started this whole thing out here, trying to help a family in Otter Creek, the idea is coming together. And my famous saying, the way I felt about it is, when I looked at a channel out there that had such a big heart, that gave so much of themselves towards this effort, I pretty much dropped everything I was doing and said, now there's where I'm going. I can see that this is where we're going to get things done. And I was right about that. In my heart, I know that I was right for following that channel. It was 2 Lees. And for people out there that wonder why I try to protect her back, if you want to call that, it's because I consider her a friend, that if I needed something, I think she would help me out. If we were neighbors, I think her and Gabe would be 2 of the greatest people I could ask for a neighbor. It took me a while before I understood John and Michelle, but it was only through 2 Lees in a Pod that I was able to understand what those people were really like, because they come back with an honest evaluation of them and their daughter. And all that did was cement that relationship that I felt to that channel, to the person running that channel. And her husband, he's in the background back there, but he's part of the team. I mean, how would the fence get built if Gabe had to went over there and helped? How would it? I mean, I'm just asking you. That's a good team. They're friends. You know what I'm disappointed in? All of a sudden, when we had all these channels that talk so much about helping out, things got quiet. People are scared they may not get a gift. They may not get a piece of the action. I mean, that's the way I see it. Even my own channel, some of those people, because of how I feel, they're kind of half afraid to come on my channel and say anything. It's like, okay, man, if they see me over there, I may not be able to get in line anymore for any of those gifts. And I've already said I'm not going to go on anybody's channel and cause a ruckus. I'm not going to stir the pot for them. But on my channel, I'm going to say what the hell I want, because it's the way I was brought up. So I have no problem whatsoever saying I will stand up for a channel out there that is doing good. And if you notice, Lisa, this whole time, is kept quiet about the whole thing, trying not to stir the pot. And I understand that 100%. because in her heart, she don't want that kind of thing going on, and she don't want any of you guys to get her either. But I want to tell you something. As this thing went on, and in a different chance, I had said something about that guy one way or the other. Now, I didn't start a big fight or anything like that, but I had mods jump on me, and I said, "Whoop, okay, that's enough for me," and I just backed out. I didn't cause a ruckus. I didn't say anything to him. I just got out of there. And that's what I would like you guys to do, if you would, is if you're in the chat and it starts up, just back out. The people that have these other channels, I don't know how to put it any other way, but the money means a lot to them because that's how they're able to exist. This guy, Benny, there's no doubt in my mind that this guy will bite anybody that doesn't follow what he says explicitly. He will take away the privilege of money. He will take away the privilege of those gifts. That's not a friend. And the best way we can do for the people of the channel, if we really feel that the channel, that they are our friends, is to leave them alone, let things level out, let them get their feet back underneath them, because the day will come when they realize you had their best intent in mind. That's what I'm thinking. I don't like what happened, and it's not fair to people to be treated that way in any sense of the word. I'm going to tell you what I would tell a guy. Stick that shit up your butt where the sun don't shine, okay? That's what I would say. Stick it. And I mean it. But I'm not telling you you have to. I have an advantage. That advantage is I don't have to kiss anybody's ass for a dollar anymore. I retired. I set up a budget that I live by. My wife and I did. We did it as partners. So I don't. The days of when I worked and I had to worry about if I say the wrong thing or if I don't make it a schedule, that's all over with. I have to admit, things like this aggravate the crap out of me because in my whole life, I didn't treat people like that guy did. I'm not saying that I wouldn't tell somebody to go to hell and get the hell out of my life. Maybe that's the problem. I don't know. Well, before I get too carried away, here's another one. And I'm not going to mention the name, okay? But here's what Miyagi said. What did only me just say to me? This was on a channel. And here's what Benny said back, okay? Ignore the Ozzy-gog. Now, Miyagi, she did not deserve any of that bullshit that she got, okay? She got timed out. Now, I happened to be around when a lot of this was happening. I was pretty upset. But I knew all that was going to happen if I said anything at all, things would blow up. And I'm better off to do, if I say it on here and somebody don't like it, they can leave. They don't have to get in a big fight over it or anything. It's just my opinion I'm giving you. It's that I don't do stuff, I hope, that puts somebody in that kind of a situation. Okay, let's go to another one here now. Okay, here's another one. This is what Miyagi has said. You want me to swoosh, but not only me, sounds right. So here's one of the answers. You have been placed in timeout by the owner of the video or moderator. Okay. Like I say, I was there. I know what happened. All right. Here's only me. Do you know what it's like for somebody to shame you in a channel? I'm not going to put everything in there, but it says, would be nice for you to store all his money. Would be make a let's see. You should make a wallet. Would be nice for and this name to store all his money. Okay, that's a controlling thing, and there's more to this than that, by the way. Now, Hannah Hammond answers back. Okay, now all of you know that she's a mod. Okay, and here's what she said: Ed, Miyagi was timed out for a little bit. Now, I don't know how many were in the chat that night, but this thing had been going on for a while. Only Me says, thank goodness the Bulldog Ozzy has left. Okay, so in this instance, Miyagi felt pretty well hurt. And I know she's gotten over it by now, and she's in the chat here somewhere. There she is. But I don't blame her for being upset because, like I say, this thing was going back and forth. There was hurt marks going on. And before this is over, Ed gets timed out too. I think he got timed out twice that night, but I'm not sure. But Miyagi got a lot worse. One of them was 30 minutes that she got timed out. It added up to more than anybody else put together, everybody else. Okay. Now, here's another one. Okay, this is only me, Benny. I want you to listen to this. And what do you think he meant? It says, and then he calls the name out. He said, you should pay $200 for a nice wallet from, and he gives the name. Okay. Now, he'd promised some money to the person and then asked them to take part of that money and spend it to buy something from another person. So here you've got Benny, he gifts one person, right? And said, I want you, he's telling you this, okay? I want you to spend some of your money on this to help that person out. So what's he doing? He's gifting you. He made you feel good, but he wants you to re-gift it to somebody else to make them feel good. And because he said it in the chat, okay, he gets credit for both of you. He's telling what the receiver of the gift was to do to reward the creator of that channel. That wasn't very nice. It's called shaming somebody when you've got them by the nuts. Okay? Plain simple fact. All right, let's go to another one. Here's another one from Only Me. I know, Masha, but, and then he calls the name out, has the money to support the channel. In other words, he gave this money to somebody. He was called out by one of the people in the chat. Actually, I probably shouldn't have used that name, okay? And justifying what he said by saying that he has the money to support the channel. What he's saying is, I gave that person the money, so he's got the money to spend. So why wouldn't he have done it in the first place? What he was doing was he's controlling two people. He controls the person that has the channel, the creator, And the person he gave a gift in that channel, he controls that person too. And he comes out with it. He's already answered this now. He's been involved with this. That's the third time he's been involved with one item. One item. He's not going to let him get away. He wants to make sure he wants everyone to know that he gave something and he knows how much, and he wants that spread out. And he wants the owner of the channel creator, to get a piece of the action. He could have just, of course, this would be too simple, right? He could have just gifted that to the creator, couldn't he? Bypassed all this. The creator would have been happy. There wouldn't have been a fight about it. And the person that received the gift, the other part of the gift, would have been happy too, because they won't be embarrassed in there. He's trying to make sure it happens. That's why he kept coming back to it. Now, the creator of the channel didn't respond to that, as far as I know. The person that got that tried to respond back to explain how he felt, and I don't blame him. But it shows you what can happen if you receive one of these gifts from Benny. He may try to control you. Let's go to another one. And the reason I'm going over this, folks, is because some of you, and I don't care, feel like you got hurt worse than anybody else. And some of you feel, well, this whole thing was fair. I can tell you, when this particular thing that I went over just now, when Miyagi got in trouble here, the one time that she was out was more than everybody else added up to. And yet you have this same person coming back 3 different times over a gift to make sure he was gifting somebody. And in effect, he was telling people what to do, even though the person didn't specifically want to do what he was being asked to do. Very embarrassing. All right. Now, here's a moderator who says, you won't get timed out as you're not causing issues, hon. Wonder who she was talking about. I don't really want to get into it, because the person that said that knows who I'm talking about. They know it. I totally get it, is another answer. Only me says, hey, lovely. No, but they can say that, but Miyagi can't. Only me. Hey, lovely. It almost makes me cry. The only reason I feel so bad about it is that we don't, we're just going about one chat here, most of this. Most of us don't see it because we're so busy doing other things in the chat. And I'm talking about whether you own the channel or not. Just to make sure I didn't get this wrong, I went over that whole thing 3 times before I ever took this on. 3 times. Because there's people I consider friends involved here. And I think if we're going to be friends, we need to have some leniency towards each other. And one of the reasons I came out a while back and said, when you're attacked, go ahead and defend yourself once, and then get out of there. Just get out of there. Don't argue anymore. Just leave. All it happened is now right now we've got no less than like 6 or 7 people that are very upset. And it only needed to happen once. But I don't know how long this is going to last. Because when this is all over, I'm going to tell you something. When the fighting is over, Benny is going to go away. If you think he's here to do good, your thoughts are on backwards. I'm just telling you, he's not here to help you out. He wouldn't be doing this if he was. You know how come I know that? It's because he's attacked too many people. There's 6 people here involved. Come on, wake up, please. Please wake up. Of all people, we don't want the people that support us, if we're creators, we do not want these people in our chat to be hurt by somebody whose sole purpose is to do that. And yes, they're helping out financially, different things. But this could be a lifetime of butthurt here over one damn gift. And you see how he played it? I'm not sure why more people can't see it. It breaks my heart. Please, when you see things like this happening, please try to be civil to each other. What happened to our main thing that we wanted to do? What do we want to do? We wanted to help somebody out. We wanted to help John and Michelle and their little daughter out. We're fighting over peanuts over here. Peanuts. If we can take a few bucks out of our pocket and help John and Michelle, and then we're worried about somebody putting a couple of bucks in our pocket, whether it's through a membership or somebody's going to get a wallet, or come on. We can have our channels for as long as we want them. If you're worried about getting more money as a creator, get some merchandise up there, get something going. We already have everything at your means to make money. Grow your channel. It's easy to do it if you want to. You know, if I really wanted to do something a while back, when I had all those, and I say all those, I had a little over 12,000 people on here. And I got them from Mr. Foreman, okay? Larry Foreman. Not all of them, but at least half of that. And I could have monetized it right away. And I could have done all things. I could have made a lot of money through the super chats. I've already had this channel for over 10 years. There's a lot of things I could have done if I felt like doing it. But I didn't feel like doing it, and I didn't want to be obligated by money. What would have happened? I can't say what would have happened, but I only have a feeling. If I was monetized and I was involved in all this, and the guy come along and he says, Ray, I'm going to give you 2,000 pounds. Could I honestly walk away from it? Just to let you know, okay? A little less than 2 years ago, a family owed me over $30,000. They turned a house that I had completely remodeled inside and out into a flop house. They got separated, went their own way. The guy was there. He turned it into a flop house where it was full of people from all over. I run him out of there. I released, his ex from any obligation whatsoever to the home. I told him I don't want to ever talk to him or see him again. I'd helped him out twice, and I never went after him for the money. For one thing, they would have had to do it in payments over, 20, 30 years. I'm not going to live that long. And there's no reason for me to worry and let stress over it any more than I already had. I walked away from it. If I can walk away from that kind of money, are you telling me you out there, you can't walk away from a couple $100? Over the years, I guess if I wanted to count money, there's probably different times where, well, I could have probably been a multimillionaire a few times over if I'd have wanted to. It wasn't a matter of need. It was a matter of, it wasn't a matter of greed, let's put it that way. My wife and I had sat down and prayed over what was coming so we could retire. We did that. And I pray every single day. And I'm not anywhere near perfect for a Christian. I'm not demon either. But I worry about people out there. And when I set my mind to helping somebody out, I do everything I can. That family I helped out, you know, the kids and that woman are doing just fine. They didn't need me to come in there and sue them and take whatever they might have away from them. They didn't need that, and they couldn't afford it. The heck with it is, I didn't need it either. And the Lord knows I didn't need it. And I don't have enough time to collect it here on earth. I can't take it with me. So my reasoning was maybe somewhat selfish as well, because quite frankly, when we left it behind, my wife and I sat down and we discussed it. It wasn't just made by one of us. We both felt better. Now, I did sell what was left of the home. I didn't recover. I'm short over that $30,000 and the heartache I went through for years over this thing. But it's relieved. And those people are relieved too because they don't owe me anything. I dropped all of that. And I wish some of you could do the same thing. Do you really? I can't make a creator turn around their life. And I can't argue with them because this Ben has give out people, there's people in here that have got money from him, not direct, but they've got memberships in different channels. And it didn't cost him a thing, and he didn't ask you to do anything. But what I've seen in the fight that comes along, and I've read these off to you, and they're butt hurters. When I read these off to you, for a $5 or $10 membership, you're willing to back this guy up over friends that you've had? Come on, don't do that. Let's be real. Let's get back to basics. Let's be friends. When I look out there at Tulee's, I see a channel. You know, I know Lisa doesn't have animosity, you know, to effect of going out and bite somebody's head off or something like that. I'm sure she gets upset with people, but she hasn't lost sight of her goal, and that was what she's doing in Otter Creek. And she's let other things slide a little bit so that she can accomplish those goals. She's not involved in this fighting with other channels in any way, shape, or form. No. She has their back. I'm not sure why other people didn't stand up and say, hey, I am 100% behind Lisa and her goals. But I didn't hear that out there. Did you? Have you heard that? Some are. Some are saying, hey, look at Lisa, whatever, I'm behind you 100%. But there's others that are afraid to be seen, whether it's on her channel. I've had a lot of them don't show up on mine anymore, but they are on these other channels. And the other channels know how I feel about Benny. Yeah. So you might say that I'm the person that if I walk into a crowd, they're going to give me a lot of room. It's not because they're scared of me. It's because the influence from somebody else is zeroed in on that little spot saying, stay the hell away from that person because I don't like that son of a bitch. That's right. That's okay. I don't like Benny either. Well, let's get back on here. I want to show you some more of this. Just show you what it is. Only me says this says, so funny, Marcia. Only me broke Super Dave. I think he broke me a little too. Woo. Oh, Super Dave didn't do anything to Benny. Woo. Where'd that come from? Hey, he wrote it out there and he put it on the chat. Yeah. Yeah, you get close to him, he's going to bite you. Hey, wait a minute. Does that sound familiar? Do you know anybody else? People, who else has bit everybody that's been near him before he come to Otter Creek? And when he got to Otter Creek, he picked out brand new people to get, didn't he? Like Neighbors. Oh yeah, yeah. Neighbors. Console, he flipped it completely. The mayor, the handyman, of all people, one handyman in the whole city, and he gets after the guy like he's a peon. He needs help from that guy. Not he doesn't need to beat up on him. Oh, okay. Here it is. Only me says, "Stop it." Super Dave is a good journalist. Oh my. All right. Okay. Here's one. It says, "Sorry, I have priorities with my money, like and names out a channel, and can't just donate, but some expect us to." Okay. So what happened was, only me was trying to shame some people into giving something on a channel. And I seen it in there. I mean, I seen where he called people out. Why he actually called himself out by saying, "Why am I the only one that's giving money in here? Why am I the only one?" Why is he calling himself out as the only giver? This is Benny. When he gives you something, how do you feel? Do you really feel gifted? I mean, if he came to me and said, "Ray, here's $1,000," I can guarantee you one thing: the check wouldn't get cashed by me if it was a check or money order or anything else. He would get it back. Okay. I don't want him around me. I don't want somebody like that associated with me in any way. Miyagi says, "What did I say?" Only me said, "Miyagi loves to hate." Well, you know, Miyagi, I don't know if she really hates somebody, but she may hate what you do. I mean, I've been associated with her a little bit on here, and I appreciate her because she does work hard. She looks at things and she comes back with the comments. There. All right, let's see what we can get to another one here. Here we go. Somebody said, "Well, you breed, Miyagi." I think they were talking about why did you get timed out? Only me. Fubar is Miyagi. Okay. As if everybody doesn't know who Miyagi is. He wants to make sure anything he can do to make her life miserable, he's going to do it. Okay. Does that? Let me ask you something. Does that sound familiar? Do you remember when all the things that we're trying to do that Lisa has put us into saying, "Look, this family needs help. Let's help them out." And everybody jumped in there and said, "Yeah, I'm all for that." Have we lost sight of helping people? Or are we getting into this thing here where only me, Benny, is after somebody? He has the means, and he's using you to do it for him. Not me, because I'm against him. All right, let's go to another one. It says, Miyagi said, "BS, Marcia. Look at his chats." Okay, and I agree with that. You got to look at it. Okay. And then it goes on, and somebody else put in there, "Yes, he has called her an Aussie hater dog and has called a hater multiple times." This is a person that was in the chat sticking up for Miyagi, calling out, saying what's happened with Benny. But how many paid attention? Because all of a sudden, you have been gifted, big chested, I got something. Okay? So who is Miyagi to you? Miyagi didn't give you anything, did she? Somebody else did. But it shows you she's got some friends here because they kept track, like I did. I kept track. I looked at this. Did Miyagi bite back? You damn right she did. Is there anybody there that's going to sit there and continually let you get slapped on both sides of the face? See, once is enough for me. You get one side, that's the last chance you'll ever get at me. Miyagi is a lot like that. On the other hand, all it takes is an apology, and she's right back in there, willing to help out. This Ben, you think he's a benefactor, you really do. But from what I'm showing you here, I hope you see what his intent is. Listen to this. All the times that we spent helping somebody out, we get one person coming into these channels, and now we're fighting with each other instead of doing what the prime object was, and that was to help a family out, John and Michelle and their daughter. What is wrong with the prime thing that we were doing? Why can't we turn our attention back on that goal? Some time ago, when I was in the mix trying to tear Jeremy apart, I realized that I was better off finding something to build rather than not. Lisa come along, showed the way how to build it up. Lisa did that. I followed what she said as far as trying to do something that's constructive rather than destructive. Now I know the difference and how to accomplish that. And I'm not going to sit here and continually go after somebody in a chat. I'm going to defend myself, but I'm going to get the hell out of there. Damn. Yeah, I do get mad because I've heard over and over on the channels about how bad Miyagi was being by fighting back. That's all she did. She reacted to an action. And what have we said about Jeremy? When Michelle and John were involved, they reacted to an action. Okay? And because of that, the courts have tore him a new butter, tried to. He's tried to done everything he can to him to pull him down. What are we doing? In our chat, what are we doing? We looked at the money and said, you are the one we're following. What did Jeremy say? I want money. Give me all your money. I can give it back to you. I want money. He does that every week. He goes on live and he gets his eyes going and he slobbers and woo-wee. Yeah, I know. I shouldn't follow what he's doing. I actually took a couple of weeks off and didn't look at nothing out of that group at Echo Chamber. And I felt so much better about it. But then everybody kept coming up with, oh, you got to see this. You got to see that. I mean, it's unreal. It's just unreal. It's almost unbelievable. All right. Here goes. This is a mod. Miyagi and only me. Shut it. I will shut you down if you don't. I was there when that happened. I want you to think back again. What does Jeremy do over and over and over on his lives on Sundays? Are we going to stoop to Jeremy's levels on people that have the same intent we do to help out a family in Otter Creek? Are we going to forget why we got together? Okay, here, you want to see something? That was answered back, by the way. So here it goes. This mod said, am I clear? Capital letters. Am I clear? Only me. Yes. Miyagi. Jeff, can I not put a eyeball in the chart? I was there for that. Doggone it. Yeah. I watched the browbeaten over. Like I said, I went through that whole chat 3 times. I watched the browbeaten. before I got to this point where I come on my channel to talk about it. I don't blame the creator in any way on this thing. The creators are so busy working on their channel, they're not looking at everything over here. We have to depend on our mods that they're going to do a good job for us. But we have to explain to them what we expect. And before I started, I told you I was going to be talking about Miyagi on here, and I wanted you to give her free reign so that she can say some things on here without getting nailed. And I'm not saying that she's the only one that I feel that way about. I want you guys to be able to say something on here, as long as you don't get too mean about it. I don't want you to turn into this Benny. I'm sick over it, because for a long time I felt so good about the things that we were accomplishing out here with the things that we were saying and doing, and these channels were getting along with each other. They're all friends, and now all of a sudden, even though the channels themselves aren't fighting with each other, the fighting is going on in their channels. And it's like a cold draft is going from one channel to the other and back and forth. And that draft is called Benny. The people that are running the channels, they really just don't know about it. They just don't. We all have our personal priorities and how we feel about life in general. But I want to warn you, your time here on earth isn't even a pebble on the beach. Eternity will be always. It doesn't end. Eternity does not end. And if you want to set with the Lord, you got to change your ways. Whew. I wish there was some way I could change some of your thoughts so that you could see. You hear me a lot of times say, you have eyes, but you're blind. You have ears, but you don't listen. And I'm showing you stuff on here. This really happened. And I'm telling you, I went over it 3 times. I didn't look at just one specific thing. I looked at the whole thing. Not just this, because I took this off in August. I went to the channels that it was happening in. And it hasn't stopped. And it's getting worse. It's getting snottier. And the control. Do you want to be called a dog? The audacity of somebody coming into a channel and calling the creator my dog. My dog. What is that? What was the meaning? Does that make you feel good? If you were doing that, I want to ask you out there, if you had that kind of money and you could come into a channel, would you call somebody that would create that channel, would you call them your dog? I mean, I mean, think about this. Gee. Oh my. Oh, we've got good people in here. My goodness. I hope I don't run anybody off because of what I've said or anything. I've called creators out on this because they need to understand what's going on in their channels. And well, let me go over some more of these. I've only got through half. Okay, only me. Okay, this is a statement he made. I donated more than that. Do not support Hales, but I'm allowed my opinion, right? With a question mark. Is he asking for special treatment? Because of the money he put in there, does he get that special treatment? Because some of you have asked that, and the people that own the channels have said that they don't give special treatment. But here he is. Only me, Benny, made that statement on there. Oh, now Miyagi answered, said, I have said nothing as such, but another has. Going to bounce him also? You know, the when people they're not treating each other, and it was at the time Miyagi was talking to one of the mods. In other words, she was getting bounced, and was the other person going to get bounced as well? Since they had started it. She's talking about Benny. Ben did that. So how do you guys feel about that? I mean, these are real statements that's taken right off of a chat. There's nothing. There's a lot deleted off from there because it, some of the names. It's not fair to have the docs people or whatever it. Okay, here goes. One of the mods said, "Only me. If you say anything that I consider an insult, disrespectful, antagonistic, or otherwise intended to create drama, I will bounce you out of here." So finally, after asking multiple times, Miyagi got an answer and got somebody to act on it. This was after she'd already been timed out. And finally, the creator of the channel came on there and also tried to tame the situation at the time, okay, to take care of it. So, we're talking about finally the person that has that channel came in there and said, "Hey, this needs to be straightened out." And that was directed at Benny. He's going to have to straighten his act out because that's not the kind of stuff that's allowed in there. Only me comes back with this. My point is, we are all on the good side, so I don't expect to be attacked by haters. Okay. So the people that attacked him are haters. The people in the channel that have meant so much. Okay. That's how he feels about it. These people are all haters. Only me. This one here, only me said, "What strings have I attached?" What do you people think? Do you think that these gifts had some strings? Do you think he asked for the people that give memberships? Do you think he expects them to say, "Hey, look, he attached no strings to me. He hasn't done anything wrong to me, and it's okay." And I'm the same person talking to. It's okay if you attack that person. So let's put a name to that person. You can attack Miyagi, and you know why? Well, because that guy treated me good. He didn't put strings on me. I mean, that's what he's saying. Okay, no strings. He didn't ask me to do anything special. So you can do that to Miyagi because he treated me good. Whoa. Now that's a different thing. It was unsaid, but the meaning was there, wasn't it? I want you to put yourself in Miyagi's shoes, okay? Because there this guy is telling you, and you'll see this through the chats. Benny has never asked me to do something for him. He has not put any strings on me. It is okay for him to pick on Miyagi. Miyagi cannot say anything. Now, I only picked this one person out here to say all this. She's in the chat with me here, and I give her free reign to say something back at any time at this point, because I'm using her as an example of what is going on here. It's been going on too long. So the unsaid words were, let's get this right. Benny didn't put any strings on my gift. He didn't ask me to do anything. Therefore, it's okay for him to pick on Miyagi. It's okay. Do it. That wasn't fair, was it? No, it wasn't fair. It was unsaid. But we all know why a person said they didn't put any strings on me. It was to justify them not sticking up for somebody else in the chat who's a friend. In other words, money bought friendship, didn't it? I hope I've explained it as best I can for you guys out there so that you understand what was going on. There, Ed says Miyagi is free to call him out anytime. But see, Ed, you don't understand. There is, in any chat, there's anywhere from 1 to 600 people out there. And it wasn't, I mean, you were put on the spot by that guy. Quite frankly, he put you on the spot, Ed. And you went ahead and said your piece. You said, I'm not going to be shamed into buying something I don't want to buy. I'm going to use the money for something that I want. And I commend you for that. Ed, you stuck up for yourself. But others did not. Other people in the chat said, he has done nothing to me. He has put no strings on my gift. In effect, what they said was, the unsaid words, it's okay to pick on Miyagi. He wants them to back him up. So if he gives out, and I seen him give out over 250 memberships on a channel out there. So does he expect all 250 of them to give him free reign to pick on somebody that's in this chat? Not my chat here, but in somebody else's chat. Is it okay for him to pick on those people? Think about this a little bit now. The unsaid words are, he did nothing to me, therefore it's okay for him to do something to her. Now, let's take this a step further. Now he's taken 3 or 4 channels out there, and he inundates them with gifts. But he takes another one and he picks on that channel. Does everything he can to break the person that is running that channel. Now, the other ones haven't said anything negative about that channel. And I'm going to use Lee's channel as an example that's been picked on by Benny. Where have anybody else in where these other channel people that are equals have said it's enough now? You don't know her. She has a big heart. She does not deserve to be picked on in that channel. You are completely wrong in how you feel. Or do you say nothing? And what are you saying when you say nothing? And have I given you a good example of what you're saying when you say nothing? When you don't stand up for your friend, or you're agreeing with the enemy or the person that's attacking him. So if you're walking down the street and this person attacks that person, do you stand back and watch and walk away because this person gave you $5 membership? Do you just turn around and walk the other way? Or do you intervene and say, hey, that's my friend, don't do that anymore? Oh, you're saying you wouldn't. Okay. You would stick up for him. Oh, well, and that's good. I'm just giving you an interview. That's all. I'm not picking on you as an individual. So if you would intervene if it was a physical thing, why can't you intervene when it is a personal thing? When you run a channel, when you built it, it's a personal piece of you. You are in that channel. And when you invite people in, You're making friends with them. You expect them to be your friend. And when they go on another channel and they backbite you, that's not a friend. Now there's a few people that left this channel. Now they didn't say anything on the way out. They went into other channels, and they don't give a crap about whether I get picked on in that channel. They were my friend, a month ago, but they're anymore. They just no, I don't know. I'm not there anymore, and that's okay because it really isn't for me. It isn't a big deal. It just isn't. Well, I'm trying to get you guys to understand what is the unsaid words are. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Here's somebody, and somebody in the chat. They were sticking up for Miyagi. Okay, I want you to listen to this. This person has balls. Stop manipulating the chat, and called only me out. Please be respectful, and we will respect you. Okay. So somebody did stick up for Miyagi, and she got stuck up for. So far that I've come through here, I'd say about 7 or 8 times on here. Okay. Only me. I'm allowed to have opinions against the germ and also question 2 Lees. He called Lisa out here in that chat. And Lisa, please don't get upset at me for repeating this. Okay. Only me did this. Not German. Benny. I shouldn't say only me because I'm talking about Benny the benefactor. I'm allowed to have opinions against the germ and also question 2 Lees. Yet the hate directed towards me is unbelievable. Do any of you understand why people hate people like that? Now, he was given the chance to straighten this out multiple times, over and over, and weeks on end, and refuses, absolutely refuses to answer any of it. So don't let this yo-yo, this asshole, regulate your life for you. I showed you how he feels about, are you going to be his dog? Who do you think he called out his dog? Okay. The person that he called out probably doesn't realize that it was not meant as a compliment. When an Englishman calls you his dog, he's talking to a subordinate. I want you to realize in England, there are classes like this. It's very easy for an Englishman to be negative towards you. Now, luckily, most of them that I've met I've never heard them do anything like that. I haven't. Now, the exception would be Spawn Trooper. I know I'm laughing about it. In case you don't know, most people in England have a dry sense of humor, and it takes a while to get used to it. If I hadn't spent a couple of years in Germany, it would be hard for me to understand it too. But we had a lot of English over there. The English were part of the forces that were over there to scrutinize Germany until Germany got their rights back after World War II. So it was England, France, the United States. We all had bases over there, and we were by that time we were trying to protect the borders of Germany from Russia. So, okay. Now here, one of the mods got after Benny. This channel is not about you or your opinions. Zip. What he meant was keep your mouth shut. In other words, he finally had got, now this was the second or third time that he told this guy to zip it. Now, it only took 2 times for Miyagi to get nailed for 30 minutes. So, just telling you. Another one in here in the chat. Only me. What part of drama not here did you not understand? Only you reap what you sow. So what had happened in this particular channel is the creator of the channel finally realized what was going on. The mods started figuring it out at the same time. And so they were trying to level this out and keep the fight from getting out of hand. And it was already too late at that time. And, my hat's off to not only the moderators trying to set the record straight, but the channel, the person that owns the channel, the creator of the channel was trying to do the same thing. And I'm sure that this person was pretty upset that, the creator having to step out there and do something like this. She shouldn't have had to do that in the first place, but it happens. I know that when I first started out, I didn't have a whole lot of moderators in here. And quite frankly, it was overrun with people from Jeremy. And as the moderators come in, they cleaned it all up and got rid of those people. So we have less problems here anymore because of the moderators in here. So, okay. Only me or Benny. Okay. 2 out of 15 goals. It's embarrassing. Make it happen, folks. So what he did on the super chat when you're getting your goals, he's calling it out saying, hey, get in there and let's get this gifting going. You slowed down. Now, it wasn't too long ago. I'm going to give you an example. We had called out a channel, and a channel that I don't particularly care for. On that channel, a person said, well, if you want me to want to see my hair tomorrow all done up, you better get in there and throw some more goals up on there. You better donate some more money. And we said, well, boy, how the audacity of somebody doing something like that. The same person said, yeah, I want to go to the massage parlor. Let's get something going here. Let's hurry up and get donations going. So we called somebody out, but here this guy comes in a channel and is doing the same thing in effect. And it's okay. So I want people to understand in your head, sometimes what feels good to you, but when you look at somebody else doing it, you see the truth in the matter. Okay, it's not a good way to doing things. You can get more things with honey, believe me. So there's a better way of doing this, and it isn't that way. All right. Okay, here he is, Benny. He's letting you know. Money buys peace of mind. Okay? And he's going to give you money. Peace of mind. He's going to give you peace of mind with money. Okay? Okay. He called somebody out. He said, oh, really? You like watching hate videos? If, just for example, any one of you on here, let's say you go over to Guapo's channel and Dan or Benny has seen you on here and he says that to you, how are you going to feel? Because all you did was you came into here to be entertained by me. He's going to pick on you when you go somewhere else. So how does that make you feel? Now, this person that he called out, he's also trying to promise him something, a very large gift. Is it fair to that person? I don't want to go over the whole thing because the person that he called out, and he sticks up for him. He very much sticks up for himself. He's a good person, this person. The gift that was dangling is something very well needed. very much needed. And I wish I, I wish I could wave a wand so that he could have it. I really do. If anybody deserves something, that guy does. But anyway, he's calling somebody out for watching somebody else's channel. That's bullshit. Okay, so he calls that same person out and says, George is following. Not sure exactly what that meant, but apparently it wasn't very nice. Okay, here it is again. Let's help. Now he's talking about this guy. Let's help that guy that he just called out. Let's help this man. What's the PayPal? What is going on? What is going on here? Oh, wait, here it is. And then he asks the person, do you want to have and he puts the thing that he's talking about on there. Do you want this? He asks the question. When you're where you need something badly, you have a need, and the temptations are given to you and saying, look, all you gotta do is say, yes, you want it. It's hard to turn it down. This particular person thinks long and hard about his own friends. But I want to show you how hard Benny will do to get somebody to take the bait. Almost everybody out there has been suckered in one way or the other on this thing. And then he calls the guy out again. He says, speak to, and he calls him out to go to another channel. When it's set up, you will get and then he puts the thing that he's talking about. You'll get it. So he's made a bunch of references. First, he calls the guy out for going to somebody else's channel that he don't like, and then he's telling he's telling this guy that he's going to give him a gift, and he goes through these different things, but he tells him to go to another channel to get that gift that he's going to set it up through somebody else. It's a roundabout way of getting there. But he wants this person that he's given his gift to be like a spokesman for him. In other words, he wants him he wants to go to this guy because this guy is well liked, but he does have a need. He wants that man on his side so that he can say, he's never had a string on me. He's never done anything. He wants that from that guy. That's what he wants. And he's willing to pay. He's got the money to pay it. Okay, then one of the moderators said Miyagi has been timed out for 30 minutes. And as Miyagi said on here, she had the coffee break. She took it in stride, in other words. So she did well. Oh, let's see. And here it is. I'll be back in 30 minutes. I'll also be back in 30 minutes. A couple of people left the chat. They said, if you're going to do that to her, then I'm leaving. In other words, now more people in the chat were involved. And the reason was because they had tracked it just like I just did. All this stuff that was going on through that channel. Oh, for a little bit, I want to get away from this for a little bit. And I want to talk on here. Here we got Tuli says, I'm the lioness. Tuli, she's the lion, and the lioness, I mean. And Tori is the tiger. So tiger and lioness, they make a good team on two leaves in a pod, and I still feel that way. So no matter what somebody says, uh, the reason, or a lot of the reason I'm on here yet and doing things is because I admire that channel and the people that have run it to this point. They've done a very good job on it. And one of them is as good as the other when it comes to doing this stuff. The two of them complement each other in the accomplishments that are going on out there. So for Michelle and John and their daughter, these are the people that spearheaded it and got it going. They really should get a thanks. And part of the reason I'm up today was I wanted to make sure that Lisa and Two Leaves in a Pod got their accolades, because right now they're taking a beating from other places, not by the creators of the other ones. But remember what I said, unspoken words mean a lot, and it can tear you up. Unspoken words can tear you up. The Lord knows what they're thinking. They're not getting away with nothing. I mean, the Lord knows what's going on. So, all right. I happened to see Mr. Beals on there. I like his channel. I just started going to it here recently. And by the way, I was looking at a lot of channels today about cars. It's hard not to. Miyagi. Okay, let's see. What do you got to say? So Ray, Milltown is bashing you now on Storage Legends? I don't know. It might be. I hope not. You know, I would hope that Super Dave wouldn't do that, but I'm careful about how I say anything about Dave. You know, Dave wears his heart on his sleeve, and I don't want to hurt him in any way. I really don't. As far as these gifts and stuff, if it gives him something to think about, I say these things for a good reason, and that's to make people maybe grow up and appreciate all the people in here, all of you subscribers to the channel. This channel couldn't exist if there was no response, and you guys are the ones that are responding on here. You're making the channel. I'm just throwing some stuff out there, and you guys are coming in and doing the rest. So you're as much of this channel as anybody or anything. And so Miyagi said, you are told Ray you are a hater by Milltown on Storage Legends now. Wow. I'm sorry they feel that way. I really am. Let me ask you guys something, just for the heck of it. We'll let this run up there. Do you guys feel like I'm trying to give information out and or do you guys really feel I'm a hater on here? Because maybe I got to change my ways. But if you think I'm a hater, go ahead and put a 1 on there or a bunch of 1s. If you think I'm not a hater, put any other number but a 1 on there, okay? The hearts work great. I mean, I'm glad for that. Sassy put a bunch of hearts on there. So I guess there we go. No 1s yet, so. A 1 if you think I'm a hater. And anything else if you think I'm not. Thank you so much out there. I hate to think that I shouldn't say hate. I don't want to think that I'm leading you down a blind alley or something. I'm just trying to give you the benefit of my age, if nothing else, and some of the experiences I've had. And these other channels, you know, I'm trying to get you not to fight on them, because it takes away, it makes you guys mad at each other, and you guys don't deserve this. You guys make our channels. You really do. every one of you. And when you get into a fight in the channel in here, it it can last a lifetime, and we don't want that. We can say things we don't really mean, and man, it's really bad. You know, Ed and I bounce each other back and forth, and I've done the same thing with the bearded fisherman. And both of us, or all three of us, we've agreed to disagree, and we go on with our life. And that's the best way to do it. Is we just go on with our life and try to live it the best we can. And if there's somebody we don't like, we don't have to invite them to supper. My grandmother told me that over and over. But you got to give people a chance, and pray for them. I honestly, I pray on a daily basis, and they're not selfish prayers. I would hope that all of you get that habit. What it does, it makes you change some of the things you do, and it'll make you think about what maybe something you should have done that day. That's what we want. It says, I don't even disagree with Ray that much, and that's pretty much true. We don't really don't bump heads that much, and if we did, it's a soft bump. Let's see. It says, JP, Ray, your life stirred the pot. It's proof of what you have been saying. Thank you, JP. I'm sure glad you're back on here. I didn't realize that you were off here for a while, but I'm sure sorry that it happened. But I was able to find you right away, and I'm glad that you're back and putting on comments. You're sure welcome to be here. Marla said, heading over to Guapo's live and hoping it's not a disaster. I don't know. I guess apparently I'm getting raked over the coals over there, Marla. Good luck, Marla. That's what Carol said. Stating the truth brings out the doubters. Phone cut out. Sorry. Hi, everyone. Brian. Hey, Brian, I called you out a little bit ago. Not bad. But today I got on there. I got to looking at a bunch of cars today. Just looking. I can't look at the some of the rust buckets anymore because I'm getting past the age of being able to repair them. Now I've got to look at the ones that are already completed, and I don't even know if I have time to drive them anymore. I'm getting to that point, but I still love old cars. And anybody that loves those old cars, they got to be right with the world, right? Says JP says, I love your channel. Thank you. Thank you very much. Let's see what else we got here. Kevin, I never totally liked this one channel, but okay, I'm with you, Kevin. I understand completely. Aussie said, it's terrible over there. I can't believe what he's saying. I don't know why he's turned on me. I mean, the things I threw out here, does anybody feel that I've said something that I shouldn't have about how I feel about Benny? Because I don't want to necessarily tear somebody up that doesn't have it coming, but I explained why I feel that way by showing you what he's saying on the channels. I compressed him because it's the only way you can see him. And I'm going to tell you why. One of the reasons I did this, here's where the idea come from. Not only from seeing it on Miyagi's channel, but not too long ago, somebody called stuff out on Jeremy. So I said, I hadn't looked at him and watched his channel, like an hour of it, for quite a while. Every once in a while, I'll drop in and see how it's going and get out of there. But he is burying his hate speech in between the things he's going through on his lockers. So when you see the headline up there, it doesn't say anything about the hate things he's going to say about Michelle or John or any else out here that he don't like. But in between, while he's unboxing things, he makes the remarks over and over and over. This guy, I mean, he's being clever about it. So he's been called out because of how he was doing a whole show on it. Well, now he's still doing the same thing. But what he does, he takes a product out of the locker and he says something about that, and then he'll throw in the hate speech. and then he brings another thing out, and he might bring three or four things out, and then he does a hate speech, and then of course George backs him up and does the same thing. If he's not doing it, she is, and it looks very scripted to a certain point. And I caught her stuttering a couple of times, so I'm thinking, I don't know if they're reading off of a piece of paper or just how they were coming up with it. But I'm just telling you, part of that is the reason I brought all this and put it together so you guys can see one after another, after another, after another, and how they fit together and how it gets past a creator of a channel. Now, as it so happened in this thing, like I said, I went over it 3 times. The creator got involved and said, now it's going to come to a stop. And then, the mods were getting involved. And so they started saying, okay, it's time for this to happen. As it is, Miyagi took a beating on it before all this stuff was being slowed down. And before it was over, she still took a beating. I'm just telling you, it didn't work out well for her. She didn't have as much coming as what it is. And part of that is the reason I came on here not too long ago and said, when it happens to you in the channel, go ahead and defend yourself and then just get out of there. Go away. Go somewhere else. It's better for you. Now, as far as if if they're throwing hate at me over there, Milltown and Guapo, that's fine. They're young guys. It's their channels. I'm not going to worry too much about it. I'm disappointed in Super Dave if that's what he's doing, because I don't really have it coming. I don't think I earned it. But when this thing blows over, believe me, the benefactor, he is going to leave. Boy, it looks like. Oh, okay. Am I still on out there? Because the chat stopped. Yeah, there we go. Okay. I'm not trying to. I don't know how to say it. I don't want to destroy anybody's channel in any way. Okay, Miyagi, thank you. I'm not trying to tear apart Guapo or Super Dave, and so I don't want you to take what I'm saying and use it on them at all. Like I say, when a fight starts in the channels, defend yourself and leave. That's all. When this is all over and this guy goes away, this Benny, that I call him Benny because he's a benefactor, these people are going to want you back. And it used to be people that considered each other friends were really friends. But most of the time you met them face to face. And I know we're doing this through a keyboard. So, and people look at the check marks, the likes, the thumbs up and stuff like that. And it means a lot to them today because too many people are depending on a keyboard to make friends rather than doing it in person. In our block around here, we talk to each other as much as we can. Not as much in real cold weather, but in the summertime, we're out daily talking to each other. And, different people in town. It's a small town. It's pretty much like it was when I was a kid. And I love that atmosphere. And I don't like seeing things come to like it has been for a long time. But I do like the thought of how many of you people in here, if you look at this chat, people that are listening in here, and you compare how you guys are interfacing to some of the other chats, you'll see that you guys really are angels. You really are. And that means a lot. That means we can have a conversation. We don't have to beat up on each other. And all of us at one time or another, we're going to have a swear word we're going to say or something that we say with intent. We just have to go on with life. We can't beat up on everybody, and we can't call each other out every single time something goes wrong. It's kind of like, do you ever notice if you make some errors in spelling and somebody calls you out on it and it embarrasses you? And a lot of times it's said to embarrass you, and that makes it worse. But I'm a poor speller, and I let the programs take care of it for me. Says two Lisa's back. How you doing, Lisa? Hey, is Gabe still there? Is he listening? If he is, pat him on the back because no matter what, the people. It's hard to understand for some people, but the partner you have in life makes your life for you. When two people love each other, and I think you and Gabe, I mean Gabe, he's got drawn into this thing to help a family out, and he's over there with his tools, and he's driving you back and forth over there. Two Lees, you've got one heck of a guy there, so, and I'm glad you do. It is a hats off to both of you. I know you really do a good job. So uh, I'm gonna remember that you about being a lioness. If I hear you growl, I'll step aside. All right, let's see who else we got here. Yeah, Eddie Murray says rephase. I got to go to the grocery shopping. I'll finish watching later. Okay, Eddie. Eddie said, "Don't fret too much, Miyagi." Something about neither did I, Pam. So, it must have been something going on there. Pep says, "Are they still at it?" I don't know if they are or not. They believe the Benny. Oh boy, man. I'm not going to go there to listen. I'll just wait to hear from y'all. Sanders said, "Don't let this hurt your heart. We love you, Mr. Ray. Some people need Benny's support. I guess any will do anything to apparently keep it up." High Live is really getting me stirred up. I hate what they're doing because of Benny. Don't let it get to you too much. You're talking about a couple of young guys, and they honestly need all the financial help they can get because they're on their way to, on the way up. And I'm not going to hold them accountable. They feel the way they do. I'm on my way out, people. I'm in my, at best, I'm in the years of my last 20. And I've taken everything in 20-year segments. And this last 20 is some of my best years. And when you get to that point, you're going to be a different person. You'll be happy with life. The only time you get unhappy is when you get involved in a fight, similar to what goes on in something like this. But I've been able to step back out whenever I felt like it. Let's see. Brian Beeler, power of love, not money, will ever summon me. That was Brian said that. Let's see. Maggie said she quit watching, wasn't worth it. I'm from over there. Yeah, this is another thing. Yeah, Miyagi, Dave loved you, but since DR started throwing money at him, he chose him over you. And that's how I see it. Sometimes just those things can separate people that mean a lot to each other. And if you can, sometimes you have to walk away from it and not look at it so that it affects your life. You don't want it to affect you the rest of your life. Be like the water off a duck's back. Let it go away if you can. If not, pray. Pray. It'll help. Or you can come in here and bitch on my channel if that helps. I'll let it go here. It says Road King says, "What is wrong with people? Why jump every time they are summoned?" Elizabeth Atkin unsubscribed. I don't know where you unsubscribed. It had to have been from over there, I guess. They all need Jesus. Sandra said that. Yes, they do. Yeah, 100%. But you can pray for them. Sometimes you have to almost be their guardian angel and do for them what they can't do for themselves. Oh, let's see. They need support, and both will be the losers in the end if this keeps up. That's probably true. They're young and foolish. I guess business is unforgiving. Pretty much. Road King, so true. Carol said that. Panel said I unsubscribe to them. They don't align with my beliefs. Simple. Road King, I would. Maggie said I would for you every time you spoke. Yeah, Miyagi's took a beating over this whole thing, and I felt bad, looking through some of this stuff, and I knew it was time to come on here and try to iron some of these things out so that people, if we can not take it personally, and like I say, defend yourself once in the channel, walk away from it so that you don't have to listen to it. You can always come back later. Don't stick around till you're so butthurt that you won't forgive. Sometimes it's better not to have heard it than get involved with it. Let's see. They will end up in no man's land like Slug. Slug really screwed himself. I don't know if you've noticed, but he very seldom has over a dozen people, in his channel that I've seen, unless it's changed lately. Goodness, they both said they feel sorry for Benny. Wow. Pep said, goodness, they both just said they feel sorry for Benny. Wow. Yeah. Says, Lisa, are you still here? Lisa says, Lordy, Lordy. Sally said, hello, Ray. Hi, Sally. Sally Riviera. Carol Corley. Carol Crazy. Wow, Pebs. Bodisha. I unsubbed to both as well. They can have their opinions and they can choose not to listen. And I can change. I choose not to listen. That's true. Sometimes we're better off not to. Darwin has 1 years. Let's see. Darwin's got a lot of good things to say out there. He's pretty wise. He slows it down enough so you can understand everything that he's saying. Oh, let's see. I just don't understand how Lisa became the bad guy to them. She didn't become a bad guy to those channels. What's happened is, this Benny guy, he's doing whatever he can. And to do something, and I don't understand why. I just don't understand it. And all of you that know Lisa or followed her, you know that she doesn't have a bad heart. It's a big heart. And you know that she doesn't have a cheating bone in her body. She's very upfront with everything she does. And, for them to, they've been very careful about not attacking. But what they haven't done, like I say, unsaid words mean a lot. But what they haven't done is say, I agree. Lisa's got a good heart. She's doing what she should. She's everything that she says, she has planned out and doing. That's hard work to plan, coordinate efforts that are going on over there. And if you don't believe me, you can ask Michelle or John, and they've welcomed her with open arms. And the neighbors that are around there that have jumped in there to help as well, and the people that have been around that family from the very beginning, Marla being one of them, and I picked on Marla, quite frankly, when I shouldn't have. I should have learned my lesson right up front, but it took a while. Only me's plan is working. That's the problem. You guys have heard about gold dust, right? Gold dust just about ruined our country. When they were the 49ers back in the 1800s, One of my great uncles took off to go out west, and they never heard of him again. Never. I'm assuming he got out to one of the mining camps and didn't make it any further. It's really unfortunate. A lot of things happen, but gold dust, the lust in your eyes, will get you in trouble. Money is it. I know that everybody has to have enough for a roof and food on the table. Once you get there, what you do with the rest shows what you have up here in your heart. How you got there means a lot. One thing I want you to remember, you can't take it with you. It breaks families apart. Money actually causes families to split. Can you imagine if you had children that were jealous of some, for whatever reason and walked away? Or even your own parents. Let's say you're a child and your own parents walked away for whatever reason. It would break your heart forever. And when a good friend does that, it really hurts. I know I lecture a lot. My wife says I lecture too much, and I believe that. When she gets tired of it, she'll go in the other room for a little bit, or change the channel. Let's see. Well, let's go down through here. Let's see. Divide and conquer. Yes, Lindsay, that is exactly it. That's what's happening in our United States here. Divide and conquer. Let's see. Let's go down through here. Bearded. I don't know. Let me see if I can get it here. It jumped past me. Bearded said something, but I lost it. I don't know why. Yeah, Miyagi said that when she noticed on Super Dave, I told him I was leaving his channel early into the Only Me saga. I knew what was coming. It people can feel it. When when you're pushed to the outside and you're trying to look in, you know it pretty quick. Somehow I missed Bearded's comment on here. I don't know what happened to it. I was going to pull it back and get to it again. Ed says, my true colors are I support everyone I support regardless of whether me or Only Me approves or not. Pebs, Road King, they say Ray will lose his channel. What a joke. Well, one thing about it, even if my channel was shut down by, let's say, YouTube and taken away, it didn't cost me anything. And there's other avenues out there that I could get up on if I wanted to. I have another thing that I'm on where I do my singing. It's a singing channel. It doesn't give me the heartaches that the YouTube does. So it's not that I wouldn't have something to do. My life isn't here. And luckily, I have a partner to keep me company. If everything else goes away, I still got my wife. And bless her. Only Me is playing a game. His spoiled, privileged self is laughing. He says, Storm Killer says, I have nothing. I rent out a camper and I don't take money from anyone who isn't family. Yep. Kevin says, I never get upset over this, but this does bother me. They're just mad because I called this out, and they considered an attack against Benny, and it may be an attack if they want to look at it that way. What I'm trying to do is I brought enough stuff together so that you can judge. You don't have to take my word, but you can judge what you think this guy is. And you see where the strings are. And when I talk about unsaid words, I think you now probably know about what I'm talking about. And it isn't just because of what's in the channel itself, but it can be between channels. Like I say, if you have a friend, they stick up for you, they say, I'm behind you. When your friend is out on the sidewalk and somebody attacks them physically, you would jump in there and help them out. But let's say the person that attacked them gave you $100. Would you then protect them? I think you would. What a lot of people don't understand, a verbal attack hurts as much or maybe worse than a physical attack does. I'm just saying, okay? I look at things from that aspect, and I try to walk in somebody's shoes when I make a remark. And then I try to get on the outside looking in and see what if it changes any. You don't know how many times I put something up on here and came back the next day and looked at it and said, that's no good. A lot of times when I'm doing something on here, I won't post it. I put it up there, and the next day I think, oh, I got carried away. I shouldn't have said that. And so I don't post it. And I've got a lot of them that are that way because I get too heated within myself when I'm upset with the way somebody is doing something or treating somebody. It does bother me to see friends get into a fight that is needless. It's something you can look past and say, it wasn't as important as what I thought it was. You know, the reason half marriages fail is because of some of that stuff of not forgiving. There are other marriages that should have never been done in the first place. Uh, People that are brutal physically should not be married. It doesn't work out. And it's hard on the children because it's passed on to those children. But an example is if you get into a fight, and everybody's going to get into a fight, if you're able to work it out, you know, they say kiss and make up. Sometimes you'll fight just so you can kiss and make up. I I say that tongue in cheek, I guess. I don't I don't want you to go out there and fight with your spouse so you can kiss and make up. That'd get me in a lot of trouble. Uh, that says if you hate me, I don't care. Don't attack my being a mod here. Oh, Ed, everybody gets picked on one way or the other. Ed is giving his full support over there. Well, you know, let's just hope. Think about it in the words that are actually said, rather than full support. Let's benefit of the doubt today. Let's use benefit of the doubt. You know, because I've invited everybody in here to say their piece, and if if you're going back and forth, that's fine. Some of you, you know, you are gonna. There's channel. I don't want you to quit a channel because of me. Please don't. It, I guess I'd feel about as bad about that as anything else. I remember a long time ago when I used to have to hand out somebody's last check, and that's a hard feeling. And that's pretty much what happens if you take a channel away from somebody. You take, or if you refuse to have them on there, or you cause them to have less people, it's taking a paycheck away. You have to kind of think in terms of what would happen if it was you. So, uh, Kevin says, Ray, I'm disappointed because I like the interaction and mutual respect you and Dave gave each other, a young guy and an older guy. It was awesome. Now who knows? I don't know. I feel bad for Dave. I mean, I don't know why he did it. I'm sure he did it because uh, maybe, just maybe, Benny came in there and said, you better distance yourself if you want anything out of me. I'm just assuming that, but I don't know that. Um, Money buys a lot of things. It's hard to turn something down that can turn your life around. Oh, let's see. I agree, Road King. Let's see. I'm everybody's friend. Okay, Ed, I believe you. I believe you. Ray, imagine how they will react when I get a live stream up. I wish more people in here would do that live streams. I think it would be fun where we can go on each other's channels like that back and forth. Uh, that way, you can control your own destiny if you're doing the channel. And all you need is a computer. You do not need a mic. You don't have to have an earphone. This computer already has a built-in camera up there. And if I didn't have the microphone in, I would go back down here to the uh, where the little mic thing is and put it back onto the computer itself because the computer has a good pickup on it. This is a HP Pavilion. This one here is, I think it's 5 years old. Maybe it's 6. I've got a new one over here on my left. I bought it a few months ago. It's a lot quicker and doesn't use as much juice. And it came with more software. And it really wasn't all that expensive. I got it off from Amazon, I think. And it's a last year's bottle. So, but it's all I need. I don't need the fastest and the best. Let's see. John says he's back here. He had to eat dinner. John Caps. Storm Killer said, I defend my friends. Yes. Life is too short. Everyone should be able to give an opinion and both be respectful. You can be friends and disagree. Most of the time you can. As long as, if you don't get personal, I agree with that. We have to be careful about getting personal. Maya says she will eventually do that. She's going to get on there and get a live stream going. I look forward to it. Now they're bashing Lisa again, implying she stole cash. That's all of us know that that's not true. It's awful that somebody would say that. Creative crafter. Okay, how you doing, Linda? It says Ray, you obviously poked the bear, and the two cubs don't know better. Probably. Well, just to let you guys know, one of the channels I look at quite a bit is PBR, and he was the first one to get on there and defend Lisa out of all the channels, and he got browbeat by a couple other channels, and I felt bad for him. He just got out of the hospital. And he was using oxygen earlier in the week. So I hope he had prayers for PBR. And don't let his anger get to you. He makes sense when he's talking. So just to let you know, I do go there and watch him. And I got to commend him. He stuck up for Lisa in no uncertain terms. He told that guy off. And I'm telling you, really told him off. So he's a bear that if you poke him, he's not one to mess with. All right, let's see. It says the true feelings intent over there are showing. I don't doubt it. Carol says, Swanee, you're right. Lisa said, hey, Ray. Hey, Lisa. Lisa, I'm glad that you're here. Oh, yeah. Yes, I know the video that you're talking about, Lisa. I have not shared that with anybody. Absolutely not. Crazy lady. Hey, 2 leaves in a pod. Hearts. Road King says nobody stole any money. That's right. This guy, he is destructive. He is trying to mess this thing up. I want you to think about this. Things were going well financially, trying to get things going with gifts When poor people give gifts, they give a lot. They give out of their heart, and they give money out of their pocket when it's only change that they've got jingling in there. This guy comes along and then pulls the strings back and tries to stop everything. And what channels he go after? The one that did the most good out there. Think about that, people. That guy is destructive. I believe. That's my opinion. Huh. Wow. Lisa said he's claiming a lot of. Wow. You know, one thing you remember a long time ago, I said that you don't want to look a gift horse in the mouth, and that's true. And the other thing is beware of strangers bearing gifts. Don't be afraid to take a gift, but watch what you do with it, because if there's entanglements, you don't want to be in the entanglements. That's when I tell you about strangers bearing gifts. This is the best example I can give you. Okay. Ed said, I just said the same, not being bullied into choosing sides on Guapos live and nobody attacked him for it. Uh, Set in the bushes for a while, Ed. Crazy lady. He is starved for attention and don't care who he hurts or steps on. Crazy lady. If you, I know you listened to me when I was going over this stuff here. When he was doing this, you could tell there was a purpose in it. He gave to people in need. When he started this whole thing, he was given to everybody that was over here in the chats. He gave memberships. I was in Super Dave's. He gave over 250 in one night. And I couldn't hardly believe it. And I thought, wow, this is something unreal. And he'd give some gifts out before that. But then when he went back and he started to pick on Lisa's channel, on Lisa specifically, that was a flag immediately because he threw out, it's like throwing an arrow out and then stepping out of the way and disavowing everything else by not saying anything. He was getting out of the heck out of there. And all he said was, I can't get in there. She's got me blocked. He said that over and over, and people kept trying to tell him, you're wrong. You can get there. Here's how you get there. He was told over and over and over. Lisa got the raw end of that thing. She did do nothing to deserve this in any way. I think this guy fell for some of the things that Germ said, or maybe he decided he was going to do something different. Maybe it was more fun for him to tear something apart rather than build it. Somewhere along the line, whether this guy changed his mind or if it was in his mind, the intent was there in the first place. But what he's doing now, that is calculated. I told you about where he used at least 3 times trying to bait somebody about a gift. 5 times on another guy about a gift. When you look at that, that took some planning. That just didn't come out of the thin air. Oh. Pep says, we love and trust you, Lisa, 100%. I hope everybody does. Kevin says, stay strong. We all know what's up. Maybe it will take longer to get donations, but us loyals will peck away at it and get it done. What strings they have attached to it. Sometimes it's best not to take it. Yeah. The biggest thing is that the strings don't show when somebody's giving it to you. I'm sure their numbers will drop 80% of Dave's subs were from two Lees. I don't know if it'll drop 80%. People like to drama draws people in, especially negative drama. So it doesn't always cost you subs. Let me tell you this. I started out a few months ago with 12,000 people on here and started following Lisa's channel and saying different. And before I followed Lisa's channel, by the way, I had changed my views on Jeremy's channel. But since then, over 4,000 people left my channel. Now, do I feel bad about 4,000 people going? No. Most of those people were biting me before they left. They hated my guts pretty much, I think. I mean, that's my opinion, because I never did bow down to Jeremy in any way. I had questions. And the more I got into it, and the more I looked in the background, I could see that this guy was plowing ground and not planting anything. And if you're a farmer, you know what I'm talking about. But this is not a good situation. And now the one person that was doing everything, in my opinion, right, is now being attacked. And by getting all the people that were in the channels happy with memberships, by giving so many out. I mean, right now we're talking thousands of memberships have been given away, thousands. And along with that, these people are sticking up for Benny. In other words, any friendships you had, if you cross the line that they put, then you no longer have that friend anymore over that $5 or $10 membership. That was cheaply bought. That was cheap shot too. And the people you're left with that do things like that have something in their heart. Be glad that you don't have that part. You want to have a big heart, a giving heart. If he wants it done faster, tell him to get his $1 million ass on a plane and pick up a hammer. I think I just seen the lion come out. The lioness. Okay. Oh, my goodness. Sally said, "You will never lose me, Lisa, because I'm a warrior. Warriors stick together thick and thin." Right on, Lisa. That's come from Creative Crafter. Linda, I'm so happy that you follow these channels. And I hope you're doing well. I know you've changed occupations and, you're having to work during retirement. And I hope you're enjoying your new work. You're a good person and very intelligent. I hope your channel really takes off. If anybody wants to help somebody out, go over to Creative Crafter. She's in my channel right here, right now. Her name is Linda. She is retired, but she's back working. And I believe at one time she was a cake decorator. You never know. She might need her around a birthday time. Let's see where we go down through here. To Lee's. We've purchased stuff for her kitchen. Great. $10,000 for labor, which I keep trying to get down. Great. I don't. Do any of you understand how hard it is to coordinate construction? I spent my life coordinating things like that, building schedules and coordinating them. It's not easy. And here we have Lisa's doing that. And I got an idea that Gabe is in there helping her in some way, because I hear him in the background every time they have their live. I love it when he comes in there and starts talking. They need to give him a mic so he can sit down and join in. He's a lot of fun. I think he's got enough construction background Uh, he could probably do that whole project. Uh, and what was I thinking? Said Lisa, I'm so sorry for what they just did. The insulation alone is 15 grand. Yeah, it's expensive. I was going to tell you one of the best ways. I used to do metal buildings, by the way, a long time ago. But we used to put the metal or the insulation up, and then put the metal siding on the outside over it, and the same way on the roof. Uh, then you can do about anything you want inside. That you have to be careful about dehumidifying in a building like that, so you don't cause sweat uh, mold. And you have to anyway in Florida. So that building you got, I wish I would have done something like that. It's called a salt box, and it's quite a. It's been around for over 100 years. That type of a structure, not metal necessarily, but wood, and you see them all through the South. By the way, I kind of laugh when people say call it a metal shed. It was built to be a house. Oh, let's see. Uh, Boy, you get the kitchen done, you don't really need anything else. You can always use cots to sleep on, and but you got to have a kitchen to cook food, unless you do it over a campfire. Oh, Ray, those 4,000 did not equal 1 cent gained or lost, as you know well. Yep. All right, let's go on here. You need it says two leads. You need a contractor, permits, frame workers, installation, electrical, plumbing. Those who can volunteer can only do it when they can. They have regular jobs, and that's right. It's hard. It's harder to schedule when people that are helping you out are working a full time job. And yeah, you do need a regular contractor on the job to do all that stuff. Blueprints, list of materials, delivery of materials. And Carol says, I know it's a lot. Boy, it is. It is. It is. It is. Uh, Miyagi out of the chat, but listening. Okay. Mushi, why won't he talk to you, Lisa? You have asked him many times. Nobody knows that answer, I don't think, Mushi. I think it's only my opinion, but I don't think he wants it settled. I think this was done purposely to stop whatever operations are going on between Lisa and John and Michelle. They're if you notice, everybody else is kind of standing back away from this thing. Uh, you know, the unspoken words say a lot. He ain't dealing with a construction company. He's dealing with someone trying to put it together with the bare minimum of funds. Yep. Yeah, crazy lady said, my husband does construction. It's not cheap and it takes time if you want it done right. Construction costs in the last 5 years have went way up. A lot of people that have started construction on a home can't finish them because the cost is just too much. Two Lee says, like I said, tell him to get his ass on a plane and pick up a damn hammer. I'm done with him. Oh, Ed said, I'm not a mole. I'm loyal to the truth. I won't be bullied or stoop to attacking people just because others don't like them. Crazy said, Peps. Yes, it does. Two Lees, no clue. That I'm not saying two Lees said no clue. I think this was his plan. Yes, I do too. I just got through saying that too, Lisa. Yep, I believe that. Sandra says building a home isn't instantaneous. Almost got divorced over our first build many years ago. So many delays. We were in a 16-foot trailer with 3 kids. Looking back, it was actually a good time. When you have the least, you have the most fun a lot of times. That's where the love comes through. And it's called a lasting love, by the way, Sandra. By the way, my wife, her grandfather was a carpenter, and he ran jobs all the way up and down the Mississippi. He helped build the bridge down there in New Orleans. worked on the canal bridge and the bridge going over the Mississippi. A lot of the places he's been, my wife and I have been too, including Louisiana and all up and down the Mississippi. So she she knows a lot about carpentry, and she helped me in my early years when I had a construction company. So uh, it really glues you together. It just does. Let's see. Had to block Ed Ray. Sorry. Whoops. Okay. Tammy, does anyone else think this only me could be germ? I would spend 50,000 to make a million. Just curious. There's some kind of a tie going there because this guy come out saying how bad he hates germ, but he uses the same tactics. And the things that he had done uh, 3 or 4 weeks ago, I fed it into a channel to get it like a diagnosis. And it was the same type of diagnosis that germ comes up with. I'm not a psychiatrist, so it'd be unfair to me to go over the line and say what that was. But I just took the things that he had done, fed it in on a channel, and it came back. And it's not surprising, but him and germ are almost identical in it. So a different method though. But yeah. Let's see. Says Pamela said, yes, Ed, I did. They were attacking Ray and Lisa, and you said nothing. Betty D said, David is coming on Storage Legend. Huh. China says, Dave is going on Guapos, apparently. Betty Fox is on there. Boy, you talk about gathering of the wagons. Let's see. Road King. I don't know if those boys know what's up. What was I thinking? I am sub from Guapo and Dave's channel. I won't tolerate the only me has been generous to us excuse for the insults being allowed. Road King. Sadly, I think they know and choose dollars. Ray, thanks for having me. My phone about to die. See you on 2 Lees. Okay, Carol, I'll do that. Creative Crafter said, Road King, they are being duped big time. Yes. Ed said, I am trustworthy before, and I don't care if you don't trust me. I'm tired of this animosity. Sally River says, what was it I did that a while ago, seen what was coming? They both say he's not making them do nothing in return, but I can see a different story 100%. That was Mushi. Yeah. Mushi 1960. There's on another system, I seen that same name. Matter of fact, there's somebody that I've actually did a duet with called Mushi. I don't know if you do that on the site or not, sing, but it's been a while. Oh, Guapo kicked Megan out. What? I can't. Oh my goodness, that'd be hard to believe because I guess it could happen, but What was I think? I've been subscribed to Guapo since the beginning of his channel. I'm so disappointed and angry. Mushi says, no, I crochet. You know, Mushi, before I went to school, my grandmother taught me how to crochet. Now, I don't do it anymore, but uh, I had two brothers back then, as well as myself, and she had taught us all to do that stuff. I have been subscribed since the beginning of the channel. Okay, that was thinking. Did Guapo get a new computer? Sandra West was asking. Let's see. Christy says, I didn't see comments by Megan, so I must be blocked. Megan Fox don't like me. uh, oh, okay. Sally said you were letting. What was I thinking? That you did the same thing. Yeah. Okay. All right, Sally. Sandra West. Seems to be a theme of late. Megan is very thin skinned, so yeah, probably blocked. You know what happens? If you gain weight too quick, you get thin skin. That's what they tell me. She gets so worried about her looks. I don't know if you ever noticed, but she's always kind of preening in the camera and stuff. But that's, you know, I don't know. People do worry about their looks. I can't anymore. There's nothing I can do. It wouldn't matter, no matter how much makeup I put on, I can't take 20 or 30 years off from me. And my hair isn't going to grow back. The only thing I could do is I could get me one of those. Toupee wouldn't do me much good, but what do you call it? A whole wig. If I put a whole wig on, that might work. And put one of them fancy socks over your head, and then you put this wig on there, or what? I think they still make them in gray. I wouldn't be able to put any other color in gray because they had too many wrinkles. Let's see. Kevin says, Road King, do you have a channel? Listen, everybody, you need to go to Road King's channel. You are going to love it. I'm telling you, you are going to love it. Go to Road King, watch his channel. He just started it. He's got 2 vids up there. You're going to love it. Take my word for it. He is better than any song out there. You'll know what I'm talking about as soon as you get there. Road King has the right voice and the right stories to tell. Go to his channel. Take my word for it. I was going to say that earlier and I forgot all about it. I missed a lot. I just had a neighbor drop off Bubba late birthday presents. Brian has a channel out there you need to check as well. He likes those the old rusty cars. They're worth a lot of money now, and he puts a lot of them up on there for people to choose and see what they can do with them. So, Chiefland Citizen, Megan not liking you is a badge of honor. Hey, Chiefland Citizen, what are you going to do when Germ takes up residence over there and starts buying all those condos up? Man, he's already thinking about what he's going to do with that beachfront out there. So, beauty is only skin deep. It's what's in your heart that makes you a beautiful person. Yep, that's absolutely right. Miyagi says, Kevin, Road King has the best voice channel out there. I 100% agree. You got to go. You're just going to love that channel. Sally says, I'm on it, Ray. Okay. Yeah, let me know how you feel about it. I'm telling you, that channel is going to grow quick. It really is. Miyagi, B&B. Pebs Chiefland, LOL. Sally, he's great. Christy, Road King and Brian Beeler, not the same person? No. Brian has a channel about old cars. If you go on there, you're going to be able to find a lot of different ones, and you can go back into his history a little bit on it to pick out what interests you. So if you're interested in old cars or you need a parts car, his channel is one to go to. The other thing is, if you tell him what you're looking for, he'll look for it for you. Are we getting peeps throwing out from Guapo? I don't know. Peb says, I like your channel, Brian. He does have a good channel. Chiefland Citizen, they'll raise the HOA fees there shortly. Yeah. Those fees can run you out of town. Brian says, put up a bunch of hearts. Thank you. Stormkiller said, love Road King. Yes. Everybody's going to be saying that. Be good to Megan. That's my further ex-wife. Oh, darn. You didn't, Darwin, you didn't tell us about that. You got to come back on there and tell on your channel. Tell us about that thing you had going with Megan. I'd be interested in knowing how she was as a wife. She sure acts kind of spoiled. Darwin, did you spoil her and make her that way? Perhaps there's a mod that can post Brian Beeler and Road King's channel. Just know Bubba is my number one fan, and Road King's voice is dreamy. If you put their name on their channel will come right up. Road King, Darwin, please, no. Darwin, you got to do an interview with her. You got to do it. Oh, goodness. Road King, his YouTube channel is up there on the channel right now. Okay. Ed put in Brian Beeler's. Ed Warrior put his up there, so grab it. You're going to enjoy yourself on there. These are good people. Well, if all the girls are going to RK place, guess I'll go over. Stop over. My Aggie said, thanks, Ed. Road King. Yep, he's still putting the YouTube thing up there. Follow it over. You're going to love that channel. Put it in your favorites. Sub to it. Stick together. Maybe we'll all survive together that we can't survive by ourselves. Like I say, I've had 4,000 subs say goodbye in the last few months. 4,000. That's quite a few. And none of them I felt that bad about. And I didn't chew them out on the way out or anything like that. I just, it's not something I was worried about. I had a few of them say, I don't see you, sucker, or something like that. Some of them were pretty nasty on their way out, but I wasn't nasty to them because I felt this way. If they didn't like my channel, why would I want them there to watch it in the first place? I'm here for entertainment. If it doesn't entertain them, hey, goodbye. That's it. Or no, ta-ta. Let's see. Jared said he subbed to Road King. Thank you. Miyagi said, I'm not pushing for subs, though. All good. Miyagi, I'm sorry. I hope that people know enough to go to your channel, since the main reason I had this today was for Miyagi. I wanted to show you what she went through. And by the way, I only went through half of that video. Half. She went through a lot more than what I put up there. And maybe later on, I'll put more on there as time goes on. And hopefully we'll be doing some things together to get some videos up for you guys, so we can have some fun with them. Uh, Brian says, it's kind, everyone, but I've already surpassed what I've ever dreamed already. That said, you're welcome to ask. You be kind to others. I keep up my comments. It's how we get requests, just as a note. There you go. Doc said, hey there, Ray. This is Doc. How's it going, man? It's going great, Doc. Uh, Apparently somebody's tearing me up somewhere. I got a kind of a pain right back, right here, right there, right there. Now, I don't know. I don't know who did it. Is that a knife in my back? Can anybody see a knife in my back there? Because I'm telling you the honest truth. It feels like there's a pain back there. Not in my neck. I've always got a pain in the neck up here, but I'm talking about my back. Somebody is doing something, and there's a knot back there. It feels almost like a baseball. Oh, let's see. Nope. What? For some reason, I got. Let's get out here a little ways. By the way, what time is it? Well, it's 4:00. You know, as much fun as this was and is, we're going to have to kind of pull it down pretty quick. Out there on the East Coast, it's 5:00, and it's supper time for a lot of people that are in here. And my wife probably thinks I got lost. I don't. She's probably sent the pup out here after me a few times already. Let's see. What was I thinking? Said that is a very dreamy voice. You went on that show over there, didn't you? Is he good or not? Boy, that I'm telling you what, you guys are gonna like the Road King show. Yes, yep. Let's see, hanging out with the great people, Road Kings. Yeah. Oh man. Oh, and Pep says, "Welcome to the Ray Bone Crusher Show." Yeah, all of you are welcome. Um, one thing about it, you could completely disagree with me, but there's going to be some things that you may tickle your intelligence a little bit, so that you can open your eyes up more. And you're more than welcome to just listen if you want to. Uh, it doesn't have to be a big fight or things like that. If a person doesn't want to get involved in a chat and get into a baseball fight or something like that, it's better to just listen. And sometimes it'll open up your eyes. What your eyes don't see, your ears can hear. Okay, so. Radis must be playing with his voodoo dolls again. Do you think that Yo-Yo did that? I thought maybe it was Moosey over there in Vague Nation that was trying to do that to me. Yeah, Kevin says you got backstabbed. I tried to leave their names out too. I don't know. If they feel that way, they feel that way. There's nothing I can do about them. They're the ones that have the unspoken words. At least, I come on here and I let you know how I feel about a friend. A friend is a friend. And money won't change that friendship. It just won't. I guess maybe if a person is born poor enough, they realize that you can live without money, because the only thing you have when you don't have money is love. Maybe that's why my wife and I, we met each other in high school. Neither one of us had a pot to piss in, really. The chamber pots belonged to our parents, not us. But we got married, and we've still married. It's been 62 years, and we just celebrated our anniversary the 17th of January. So, well, you need me there to cook any homemade meals, just an offer. Sandra says, great being here today, Mr. Ray. Glad to catch you live. Don't worry about what other people say. Your tribe is loving and true. We got your back. Thank you. It means a lot. And all of you mean a lot. I'm glad that most of you in here are getting along very good. And believe me, it's better to talk in a better mood with each other than it is to get into these big turmoils. And ever since Brian, or not Brian, but ever since Benny, that I call the benefactor, came on board, he started a fight in each channel. And I showed you how it started over here when I was looking at the other computer. I used my Yagi, as an example. And the reason was because it zeroed in on her on a channel, and I went over it and over it and over it because I didn't want to make a mistake. And I could see how things can happen and get so out of place. And it wasn't just there. Other channels had picked up on it and were doing the same thing to her. And it was unfair. And I also went over what unsaid words are, unsaid meanings. And I also showed you how channels that can be your best friend can all of a sudden distance themselves because they're afraid to say anything. They can say anything they want. It's what they don't say that makes them stand out. And I hope all of you understand what I'm talking about. But I'm glad maybe that the cussing and swearing didn't get out there. But you can see apparently in their chat now, because I called it out and explained what's going on, I'm the bad guy. I'm going to be the bad guy. So, let's see. Mike says, I can't feel special, Ray. You've been special a while. You've been on that hot seat. I'm not sure how you did it that long. People say, why are you biting like that? I'm saying, what kept you back? Somebody else has been on the hot seat like that, okay? John and Michelle have been on that hot seat for a couple of years now. And that's who we're trying to help out. Can any of you imagine trying to walk in the shoes of Michelle or John? You can't go to the post office without looking over your back. You cannot drive down the street. You can't go to the trading post without somebody saying something. You can't go to Walmart to buy groceries without worrying about who is there at the same time. You can't go to a restaurant without having somebody take pictures of you stalking you like Rat did. Would any of you want to trade places with John and Michelle? They have went through so much. And we had somebody with the audacity of old Bernie boy come in and try to break up a channel by accusing Lisa of doing things that are untrue. And now, during an explanation, it sounds like two channels have decided to go on some kind of a rant towards us talking about what happened on here. No exaggerations. I showed it on the computer what was going on. I explained my opinion on it. That's all. You out there, most of you seen it. You know what I'm talking about. I didn't exaggerate anywhere. Okay. Well, that's my rant. Listen, it's almost 4:15. And boy, I can't tell you how happy I am so many showed up today. And I want to thank all of you for coming up here. And I want you to, I'm really happy that you were able to keep it fairly cool. As you can see, my channel here is trying to slow down. I'm assuming that my signal strength is weak right now. So here, two Lisa's back said, had to cook and eat. Well, I'm just about to get out of here. I did give you kind of a final pat on the back, Lisa. Oh, I was trying to tell people out there, how would they feel if they had to walk in John and Michelle's shoes? having to try to go get groceries, having to go to the post office, having to try to go to a restaurant, even driving down the street, all those things that they can't do without looking over their back. It's unfair, unfair. And I tried to use Miami today as an example of what happens. And really, all I was doing was, and it didn't turn out so bad because before that channel was done that day, that video, the creator was able to catch on to see what was going on and started intervening. It, creators don't always have time to stop a fight in the chat. They just don't. And it's easy to get butthurt over something simple out here. You know, I hope things don't get too out of hand for any of you out there. But also, apparently today, because of this explanation, and I showed you what was going on in other channels, a couple of channels now are raking me over the coals. So they're not afraid to call me out, okay? But remember what I said, unsaid words say a lot. I don't mind backing up friends. And I don't mind saying that I'm going to back them up. And we didn't have this problem until Benny got in there and decided to stir the pot. And he had to lie about one of the creators. It was an outright lie. And he knows it. That's my opinion, that he knows it, but it still doesn't change the fact that it was an outright lie. That's what I got to say about it. Lisa says, I can show my bank balance, so IDC. Yeah. Well, one thing about it, we've talked through this whole thing today, and I hope all of you had some fun too. Whenever we can get a point across, and hopefully the meanings come through to you nice and clear, to all of you out there that are in the chat. And we've got new channels starting up out there. I'm glad, shout out to the new channels that are starting. We got new ones maybe that are going to pick up a little more. We can all have fun on here just by doing the things like I'm doing here. It doesn't cost a lot, and you don't have to have a mic. You don't have to have earphone. Your computer will do every bit of that, and you don't have to have any special software either. It'll take you about 20 minutes to go on YouTube and set it up, and it won't cost you a nickel. You can do what I'm doing right here, right now. Not one penny will it cost you. No mic, no earphone. This computer like this, it's got the camera in it, has built-in mic in it, and you can get one for a couple $100, one of these from Walmart. Not this particular model, but one that'll do the job. I've got one over there that was on sale. It cost I think it was $129 a few years ago. And it works fine for doing what I'm doing. It doesn't have a lot of memories though. But if you want to start a channel and get on there and chat just like I'm doing today, you can do it. It doesn't cost hardly anything. By the way, this is a cheap mic. It's as cheap as you can go. I'm going to show you. This is a Pile mic. You can buy them anywhere for, I don't know, $20-25, something like that. I bought a set and it was on sale. I think it was $29. There was two of them in it. And it came with a carrying case. And it came with one of these donuts here. And these, anywhere from, maybe it was 10 or it could have been $19. More than likely it was closer to 10, but this came from Walmart. This is Amazon. My computer, I bought this at, I think I bought it from HP somewhere. But this one, this other HP, I bought at Amazon. It's a lot quicker than this one. And I think I got around a little over $400 in it or something. I mean, it was less than 500. But you do not have to spend that kind of money. Go to buy something on sale at Walmart, and you're in business. It's not a big deal. 20 minutes, and you're online. Don't forget, I called out Linda with Creative creative products there. Uh, she has a channel. She can always use your help. Uh, we've got a lot of people on here that are coming in that are brand new, and people that create channels can hang together pretty good. Uh, Anybody can do it. If you can get just like I say, bare minimum equipment, you don't have to get fancy with it. You'll love it. Uh, I think that's it. Current sales. I'm playing a live about Maddie McCann soon. I do watch your channel. I want you to know I do come in there. I always hit the thumbs up button on your channel. I am sub to you too, by the way. Funny Sunny. Hi, Lisa and Ray. One thing about doing live, you get a real feel for the character of the channel creator. Ray and Lisa are both good hearted, truthful, caring people. Thank you for the show today. Thank you for being here, Sunny. Funny Sunny. Frank, great live. You are truly a ray of sunshine. Thank you, Frank. Uh, Current, really, I know that case. Peps is aware of that case. She's also doing a court reading. I have a website for that. That's current Chaos. Okay, I'm just going to put this out there. Some channels, instead of using this to try and make a living, should go out and get a job. JS, Super Dave. uh, I don't know why Dave is so mad at us, Miyagi. We were, you were a real good friend of his, and I thought I was too. And I've every time I've been on here, I've tried to pat him on the back. And as far as me explaining what's going on here on the channels, that wasn't something to try to drive him out at all. And if the shoe was too tight for him to wear, well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry it had to happen that way. Super Dave, I have um admiration for everything that you've done. I think you've worked so hard for, and it really is too bad that if you're trying to attack my channel, I don't know what to say. Uh, I don't. I'm not going to attack your channel back, and I won't bother you. It says because Benny told him to be mad at you. Yeah, yeah, that's probably true. Benny is, and I showed you on here how he talked about people and how he wanted to be credited for things, and the control he put over even people in the subs, in here, to bounce them back and forth off from each other, and also through the creator. And those are all things called control. And he loves to control people with his money. He's having fun doing it. And how would you feel if you were called a dog? I mean, that was one of the first things that I showed you on here. I don't think it was very nice. But then, if you don't mind being called a dog, I guess you earn the money that's being given to you, right? I mean, it depends on how much you need it. Let's see. Chief and Citizen, having a YouTube channel does not provide health insurance, dental insurance, matching 401. It's just some cash that still has to be reported to IRS. And that's very true. People don't understand the paycheck that you get in your hand, the hourly rate you make, an employer pays that much in overhead. So if you're getting, let's say you're getting $50 an hour, the overhead is probably another $50. When I was in business, my biggest cost to start out with was workman's comp was a big cost. But and then I got fined several times by the IRS. There was a couple of times where I got it. The postmark was late getting on my. I had to send in taxes every month. And if it didn't get postmarked right, I would get fined. And then I got fined on a fine one time. and I used a bookkeeper, but I didn't write checks out till I had to. And you're writing checks on what you think you're going to make. You're a quarter ahead most of the time. So it and if you don't estimate correctly, you get a fine. I don't know if people realize it or not, but if you put on there you only think you're going to make 10,000 in a quarter, and you make 20, chances are that if they want to, they can fine you for that, because it's an estimate you're giving in there. If you're off the wrong way, you're going to pay. So, or at least that's the way it was 40 years or 50 years ago. All right, good. Hey, listen, I got to get off here. Thank you, everybody. And it's going to take an extra 24 hours for the chat to come up on this channel. So if you want to look at the chat later on, give it a day's rest, and then it should come back up. I don't know why YouTube holds on to it, but apparently they do. And this one's going to get hit. My channel for the last about 2 months has been, it dies 6 days after it's posted, approximately 5 to 6 days. And I'll show you how to figure out what's happening on the channels. But what happens is you get flagged here and there. And this part gets flagged too, by the way. So somebody out there doesn't like my channel. And so, in other words, I'm good for about 6 days, and then it goes like that. Those of you that have got me, that are subbing to the channel, most of the time you'll get a notification when I'm coming on or have been on or something like that. But other than that, it don't always show up. YouTube has helped me out for a few days each time I post a channel, because they put all kinds of stuff up there to make money off my channel. And they're making the money off of it. I don't get nothing. They don't share it with me at all. But see, it kind of dies down after about 5 or 6 days, and my channel drops out. It isn't seen like it normally would be. The only thing that you might see that it lasts longer than that, and I don't know why it does, but the songs seem to stay out there longer, and it's because it's on. It goes to a monetized channel, not my monetization, but another channel. So, other than that, goodbye. Ta-ta, everybody. Thank you so much, all you mods that came out there to keep my channel level and running right. You sure did a good job today. And for all you new channels that are trying to get started up, remind me every once in a while so I can call you out, and I'll try to throw as many subs your way as I can. Yep, Miyagi says ta-ta, Ray. All right. I honestly, I had a good time today. And well, we're going to end it where? Right here. Ta-ta.